From your official station of Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Gameday, presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome to BBN Gameday. I'm Anna Tarullo.
It feels like Christmas, Anna. I promise it feels like Christmas. I'm Christy Thomas. We are so excited that football is back, and so are we. BBN Game Day. We're pumped. We're going to be getting you ready for Kentucky games every single Saturday this fall. We're officially kicking things off today. I'm so happy to be back with you.
Me too, Christy. We're happy to have you back. So lots of fun coming up on today's show as we preview the season ahead. We have an exclusive interview with offensive coordinator Liam Cohen. Plus, we're talking with Jeff Picoro, and of course, you'll hear from some of the players.
But let's get started with some basics. We got to know what the schedule looks like, right? Things line up really nicely for the Cats. 5 of their first 6 games are at home, including important games like Missouri and Tennessee, and games that I know the fan base is already excited about, Florida and LSU. Kroger Field, of course, will be wild for those games, but then we're going to get things started with a noon kickoff, Louisiana Monroe on September 4th. I'm just trying to tell you right now, I already know one of two things will happen. It will either be surface of the sun hot on September 4th.
0 ozone projecting
That's right, or it will rain. So just be prepared.
Yes, we'll have to check in with Bill Mack, or one of our meteorologists here to
we'll figure out
how things might be.
Yeah,
we're excited.
Right.
It feels like football weather already. And even if this staff ends up keeping the starting quarterback under wraps until then, we've done some digging. We have some ideas. Our Maggie Davis takes a look at the current QB situation.
It's more important to get it right than to be in a hurry.
Well, if you consider yourself a football fan at any level, you may have heard something like this before.
We're not in a hurry. We want to make this decision right and pick the best player to lead our offense, and ultimately your quarterback should be a face of your program.
But for Kentucky, with guys like this, that hasn't really been the case recently. But this upcoming season feels different.
I think that is huge to a program. I think there's a lot of great programs that win SEC championships and win national championships. A lot of times the quarterback is the face of the program.
We do feel like there is quality depth. Maybe for the first time you go all the way down and have 4 or 5 guys that you feel confident that could play football at this level.
And you know what that means. It's a good old-fashioned quarterback competition.
The quarterback, all 3 of them are doing good things, but I'm liking Will. Will's doing some pretty good stuff.
You mentioned that you were pretty happy with what you've seen out of Will so far. Is that mostly a consistency thing, or is that more of you've seen some kind of big moments?
More consistent, but making some big throws. And not saying the other 2 guys ain't making big throws, but he's making throws that, I'm like, wow, And then you turn around and enjoy it, come back and make a good throw. But probably more in Will has been more consistent and more the ball coming out with. It's looked pretty good. Not saying other guys haven't, but it's just like Will has a feel for it. And, that scrimmage was pretty good. But I'll tell you, I've also been impressed with Bo. Bo really worked on himself, and Bo's been looking pretty good. So this ain't no political stuff. This is really what I see. Bo is
we
really.
never come to you for the political stuff.
Yes, because you ain't going to get that.
I know.
But Bo is looking pretty good. So, but I just, Will just seems to really, that ball comes out from what I see.
My true freshman year at Penn State, our quarterback, Trace McSorley, said something to me that kind of stuck with me, which is no matter if you're the 5th string quarterback or the starting quarterback, you got to approach every day like you're the man. And that stuck with me. I kind of had that thought process my true freshman year in the beginning, like, yeah, I'm never going to play this year. I don't really got to take it that seriously. And that kind of hit me. It was like, if you want to have that mentality and you want to be the best you can be, you really do have to prepare that way. So I have been in competitions in the past couple of years, so I kind of know what it's like, but it really doesn't change my preparation. I mean, obviously it comes down to execution and being able to play the position, but I think that you need to be a leader and you need to be a guy that guys can turn to and really trust. You got to win the team over before you win the coaches over, and that's what really helps that decision get made. And a lot of the times the decision kind of makes itself.
It's my job to get the quarterbacks to play at a high level. And I believe that we took a step forward this spring. So I feel good about the depth that we have, absolutely. Adding Will absolutely helped the depth of the room. Doesn't mean he's the starting quarterback, but anybody could be at this point.
I love that. Anybody could be at this point, which is a great place for this team to be. Quarterback battles always tend to dominate the headlines, but we've actually learned a lot about this team already. Just about a week into fall camp with Keaton Upshaw out for what will likely be the entire season. The tight end room was looking a little thin, so former wide receiver Isaiah Cummings has moved over to that group.
That's right. Mike Drennan has also made a position change, switching from receiver to running back. Now, that should be a pretty natural fit. Drennan actually played as a back in high school. In that room, it's looking pretty deep, Christy. We don't have to tell you it's going to be a big year for our guy C-Rod.
Can't wait to see him on the field. On the other side of the ball, we've also heard a lot of positive things about J.J. Weaver's progression as he works his way back from an ACL tear. That's good news. No word on when we could see him in a game, but he is practicing with the team at this point. So really great news from that linebacker room. So as for us, we are just getting started, and it makes me so happy.
Me too. So coming up next, we're bringing in an expert. That's Jeff Picoro. He joins us to dive a little deeper into those headlines, plus a whole lot more. That's next on BBN Gameday.
BBN Gameday, presented by Central Bank and sponsored by Kentucky Select Chevy Dealers, Coca-Cola, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Kroger, Lexington Opera House, and Papa John's.
Since opening our doors 75 years ago, Central Bank has made big changes, like the region's first Saturday hours, online ATMs, and even the area's very first vault. But one thing will never change is the community-minded mission of our founder. Garvis D. Kincaid believed that what's good for the bank should also be good for its community. True back in 1946 and equally true today. So, come see how we've grown. Central Bank, central to you. Member FDIC.
Did you know that 1 Kentuckian in 6 struggles with food insecurity? That's why Kentucky Farm Bureau has helped raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Kentucky Hunger Initiative. Contributions that help neighbors in need put food on the table. You see, Kentucky Farm Bureau does more than just insure homes and autos. We help ensure that our fellow Kentuckians get help when they need it most. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
At Kroger, we take scrutinizing freshness to a whole new level, where only the best of the best of the best will do. But just because you can't get any higher than perfect 10 produce, that doesn't mean that we won't try. Because Kroger produce isn't just fresh, it's fresher than fresh. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You're watching BBN Gameday, presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome back into our first BBN Game Day of the season.
That's right. To keep this football talk rolling, let's go ahead and bring in Jeff Picoro of the UK Sports Network. Jeff, it wouldn't be preseason if we didn't start by breaking down the quarterback room. What have you seen out of all 3 of the top guys so far? But let's start with Will Levis.
All right, let's start with Will Levis, the kid from Penn State. He got here late. He did not play through spring, but he's a smart kid, obviously. Has learned this playbook, cannon for an arm. We've seen him get on one knee and throw 50-yard field goals. So he has got an absolute cannon, and it reminds me, and Christy, you know this guy very well, Dusty Bonner. He was here, was a fantastic player, but the next year, Dusty was replaced by a guy that had a cannon for an arm in Jared Lorenzen. And you just heard Vince Morrow talking about getting the ball out quick and getting it into the hands of these guys. I think you're going to see more of that. It's going to remind some people, I think of that Tim Couch, Jared Lorenzen style offense where the quarterback gets the ball and it's immediately out of his hands quickly to these receivers as they're going down the field. And I think Levis has got the arm that can get it out there in a hurry.
All right, so moving on now to Joey Gatewood. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen out of him so far.
Gatewood is a guy, obviously, who's been in this system for a year, although it's a new system when spring practice started. He's a guy, along with Will Levis, that can really make things happen with their feet when things break down in the pocket. That's what the coaches really like, and that's, I think, what Cohen really likes is those two guys possess something that Bo doesn't. We'll get to Bo in just a second, but that's the ability to get out of the pocket and make something happen with their legs. Joey also has a very strong arm. The question's always been, where's the ball going? Now, they say in spring practice, that he didn't throw an interception the entire spring practice. So if that can carry over into this fall and into the season, that would bode well for him. Those two guys are really running neck and neck right now.
All right, what do you know about Bo? Let's go on with Bo Allen.
Well, you know, Bo Allen is the Peyton Manning of these three. And what I mean by that is he is the cerebral pocket passer. Now, he can get out of the pocket, sure, but he's also not going to make a play with his feet 40 yards downfield like the other two can. That's the only difference right now between him and those two. He may be the best pure passer of the three. I think he sees the ball or the field well. He anticipates guys breaking open. He's really the best pure passer of those three guys, and that's why I say he's the Peyton Manning of those three. The other two give you that added dimension. So really, look, you can get away with being good in 90% of the leagues around college football, but in the SEC, you have to have a great quarterback if you're finally going to break through to that next level. And I'm talking about the Alabama, Georgia, Florida level, LSU, that Kentucky is aspiring to get to.
Awesome stuff, Jeff. Love that breakdown. All right, let's move to the wide receivers now. Liam Cohen said earlier this week he'd feel good going 6 or 7 deep at that position right now. So it's safe to assume perhaps Josh Ali and Wan'Dale Robinson are the two guys at the top, but then it feels like a dead heat for third. What are your thoughts there?
You know, it's real interesting. You moved Drennan from wide receiver to running back. And why are you starting with Mike Drennan, Jeff? You might say, well, I think because in this offense that Liam Cohen runs, the running backs are really quasi-wide receivers. They throw a lot to those guys as they're trying to get out into the flat areas and trying to get them on one-on-one situations where it's a mismatch with the defensive backfield. Okay, now let's go to 1A. That obviously is Wan'Dale. He can take the top off. It's something Kentucky hasn't had in a while. That is going to open things up because you're probably going to see a lot of the defenses that are going to be rolling towards Wan'Dale's side. So that means Ali, who's going to be on the other side, is going to see a lot of single coverage or loose zone coverage on him. So you're going to see maybe a lot of plays where you might look to the strong side, but you're going to be looking back to that weak side because he's going to have single coverage a lot, and that's going to open things up. The other thing it's going to do, have a guy like Wan'Dale getting down the field, opens things up underneath. So the inside guys, and you've already named a couple of them so far in the show, but I really like what Rashawn Lewis has shown us so far. I know it's early, but he has really made some outstanding plays. On Fan Day, he made 2 great catches down the field on one-on-one. We call those 50-50 balls that Kentucky has usually missed on the last couple of years. He made big plays with those, and 2 of those were touchdown passes. Also, Jutan McClain is another guy you're going to see in that Drennan mold where he's going to be an inside receiver, but he's got all kinds of quickness, and he reminds me a little bit of some of those Florida slot receivers who you try to stretch the field with, getting the ball to the outside. You're going to see a lot more of those end-around type runs with Wan'Dale and with McClain and guys like that.
Jeff, great stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll check back in with you next week.
Love it, Jeff. Thank you so much. Coming up next on BBN Game Day, my exclusive interview with offensive coordinator Liam Cohen. The conversation right after the break.
Okay, you want to make pizza night with the family even better? Bam! Get yourself the new Parmesan crusted papadilla. So while the kids grab their slices, you'll be crunching on toasty flatbread folded with meats and cheese. It's like a golden, crispy little fireworks show in your mouth. Oh. Ooh. Get a new Parmesan crusted papadilla just for you for only $7. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
There are moments in our lives that change everything, where hard work pays off with a burst of opportunity. That's why each year, Kentucky Farm Bureau and its county offices across the state help raise and give away hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships. You see, Kentucky Farm Bureau does more than just insure homes and autos. We help ensure that more Kentuckians have a chance to achieve their dreams. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
You're watching BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome back to BBN Game Day. The football team has plenty of new faces around the program this season, from transfers to true freshmen to coordinators to the offensive coordinator himself. Liam Cohen talked exclusively with our Christy Thomas, presented by UK Healthcare.
All right, Coach, well, so much unknown from last year as you try to come into a season. Obviously, you're new, but as you're Thinking about the mindset of this team coming into camp, really, where are they and kind of where their heads been coming in?
I think this was just a great opportunity for our guys to just get more reps at this offense. You know, I mean, I think there was a lot of excitement in the spring, but there was just so much more of the guys just trying to get done what they needed to get done on a play-to-play, snap after snap basis. I think this summer so far, we've done a really nice job of overall concept, big picture thinking, to get this offense into the direction that it needs to go.
Well, so based on that, then with that offense, are you where you want to be? Are you where you thought you'd be? Are you ahead of the game?
Yeah, I think we're probably where I thought we'd be. Maybe a little bit further ahead in some aspects of the offense, but definitely where I think we should be. But a lot of room to get done before we play September 4th, and that's part of this whole process.
You've had some guys shift around and move positions.
Yes, please.
You're looking
Nice.
good. You're looking good.
Well, this is next level.
Hey, I need this. I'm sweating.
Shut up, dude.
And fully vaccinated. They're sharing water bottles, fully vaccinated. I love it. That's great.
That's what we do. That's Rhode Island pride, baby. Rhode Island pride.
That's awesome. That's great. So some guys that you've moved around and shifted into some positions, how's that gone? It's relatively new.
Yeah, I think as much reps as those guys have gotten in some of the new positions and just being out in different spots on the field has been new for some of those guys, and I think they've done a really nice job so far, especially obviously Isaiah Cummings and doing some different things at different positions, and he's a guy that we need to be able to get something out of and get some production out of, but I do believe that our guys are taking to the roles that they are given and trying to make the best of them.
Talk about new guys in new positions. You also have some new coaches. You got 3 new coaches on offense, yourself one of them. Really thinking about Eric Wolford and that offensive line, and a lot of guys coming back. I mean, you've got 2 preseason all SEC guys coming back, so that you have a luxury there. But how has the big blue wall looked to you leading up?
Wolf's just an unbelievable, loyal guy that just gets the most out of his players. He coaches them hard, but he loves them hard, and he's so great to work with. He's somebody that I've really gotten to know over the last few months of being here, and I feel like we have a good chemistry. And those guys, I think, are going to play for him as hard as they play for Coach Schlarman, and that's what the goal is to honor him and do it the right way, and I think Coach Wolf was the right guy for the job.
You mentioned chemistry. Obviously, you want that with your players, but you have to have it with the coaches as well, too. And so as you're bringing all of that together, are you seeing good things happening from the coaching standpoint?
Yeah, I think it took some time for us all to get to know each other naturally, right? But we all have a passion and a common goal for loving the game. And I think that ultimately we'll get something out of our players if we all treat it and go at it the same way. Whether our differences in philosophy or concepts, we can always come to an agreement at the end of the day, but we all share a common goal, and I think that's to try to get our players better.
Some life lessons in that too, what you're saying, which I love. Fan Day, how was that?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was a good time to just get people out there. I mean, it wasn't our best practice probably of the training camp so far, but it was great to get the fans out there and see Big Blue Nation out there in the flesh.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I said September 4th when we can pack Kroger Field, it's going to be a good time. There's no doubt about that. But a lot has been made about the quarterback position. You have a lot of options there, which is great. But really thinking about running backs and the fact that you are going to have a real stable of running backs and a lot to choose from. Were you surprised at that when you came in? I mean, that you would kind of have that kind of talent and that level of athleticism available to you?
Yeah, I had done some research and knew that they felt really good about Chris and Smoke. And then Jatan and some of those other guys and Torrance coming in the mix and getting to know Tiz and Lavelle. It's just a great mix of guys that all have different skill sets, which is nice. So we can try to use them in different ways and try to create mismatches with those guys.
You're facing this defense every single day. A lot's been made of them. Can you talk about Brad White and the job that they're doing? We already saw what kind of job he's doing for you. I mean, listen, he's helping you out, keeping you hydrated. But the defense is really doing a lot.
They're really good, man. I mean, Brad does such a nice job, and the whole staff, really. I mean, they're a great staff. They truly get it. Their players love to play for them. They have leadership at every level of the defense, which I think is so big to have. And they're just such great kids on the defensive side as well as the offense. But you talk about the likes of Josh Pascal, Yusuf Corker, Square. Those guys are just that everybody wants to be around those kind of guys, and you can win with them.
I think it's a great point. You bring up leadership and what you're seeing on the defense. Who are you seeing emerge as leaders for you on offense?
I think starting at Luke Fortner and Josh Ali, I think first and foremost at those positions, guys that have been around it. Justin Rigg trying to get involved as well with some of those leadership capabilities, and some of our older guys. And then as some of our younger guys get more comfortable, that's when that personality can start to come out more.
Yeah, so Lexington's treating you all right?
Yeah.
You like it here?
It's been great. You know, my wife Ashley and I have loved it so far. It's going to be a great place to raise a baby.
Yeah, well, coming soon, right? I mean, that's happening very soon, very quickly, right with the start of football season, but that's awesome. Well, I can tell you that we're glad to have you here. We're thrilled to have you here. We can't wait to see what you put out on the field, and very excited for what's ahead. So, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Wait for the season to start. Stay right there. More BBN Game Day right after this.
Okay, you want to make pizza night with the family even better? Bam! Get yourself the new Parmesan crusted papadilla. So while the kids grab their slices, you'll be crunching on toasty flatbread folded with meats and cheese. It's like a golden, crispy little fireworks show in your mouth. Oh, ooh! Get a new Parmesan crusted papadilla just for you for only $7. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
At Kroger, we take scrutinizing freshness to a whole new level, where only the best of the best of the best will do. But just because you can't get any higher than perfect 10 produce, that doesn't mean that we won't try. Because Kroger produce isn't just fresh, it's fresher than fresh. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You're watching BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Hey, Big Blue Nation, we're having Fan Day and a blue-white scrimmage on Sunday. We've been waiting so long to have you guys in the stands next to us, seeing the 21 version of the Kentucky Wildcats. Please come out, support our players, get an opportunity to get photos and a mini ball, and we'd love to see you. Not too far away, we play our first match, and we want you to have the first chance to see us in person. Go Cats!
Coach Skinner, y'all heard the man. Kentucky volleyball, they're kicking off a new season beginning with their annual Fan Day. That'll take place this Sunday inside Memorial Coliseum. Doors open at 12:30. The blue-white scrimmage starts at 1:30, and fans can get autographed mini volleyballs, and there will be plenty of picture opportunities. So go ahead, make those plans. Be at Memorial Coliseum this Sunday.
It was so much fun covering their incredible national championship season last year, so we look forward to another one.
Absolutely. So go to UKAthleticsTix.com, pick up season tickets so you can go out and support them every weekend. Stay right there. Our Coke Play of the Week is next, and a special thank you to our cornerstone partners, Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
And Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
We depend on the internet for so much these days, but not all Kentuckians have access to reliable broadband service. That's why Kentucky Farm Bureau joined the American Connection Project, and we now provide free Wi-Fi access from the parking lots of nearly 200 KFB locations across the state. You see, Kentucky Farm Bureau does more than just insure homes and autos. We help ensure that more Kentuckians stay connected. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
At Kroger, we take scrutinizing freshness to a whole new level, where only the best of the best of the best will do. But just because you can't get any higher than perfect 10 produce, that doesn't mean that we won't try. Because Kroger produce isn't just fresh, it's fresher than fresh. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Since opening our doors 75 years ago, Central Bank has made big changes, like the region's first Saturday hours, online ATMs, and even the area's very first vault. But one thing will never change is the community-minded mission of our founder. Garvis D. Kincaid believed that what's good for the bank should also be good for its community. True back in 1946 and equally true today. So, come see how we've grown. Central Bank, central to you. Member FDIC.
All right, guys, it's our first Coke Play of the Week this season, and it's going to Rasan Lewis at Fan Day with not one, but two awesome catches on deep balls, one from Will Levis and then the other from Bo Allen. The walk-on junior is the son of, you may have heard of him, Hall of Fame linebacker Ray Lewis.
So listen, I have to tell you, I talked to Liam Cohen. You saw that earlier in the show, and we talked about his offense and kind of what was happening. And he said, you know what, off camera, he said, hopefully we can score some points. And I said,
Fingers
listen,
crossed.
Coach, Coach, you score some points around here, and you're going down.
Yep.
You're going down as a folk hero. So,
build the statue.
Yes, but I do feel good about that. As I start to look at plays like that, where you're looking at great balls that are coming out of the air, you're looking at guys making big plays, where you've wanted wide receivers to do that for so long. So I do feel really good about where this team is, and I can't believe it's here. Listen, and kind of normal, if you want to call that. I mean, if we're 60,000 strong in Kroger Field, I'm in. So,
that was my big takeaway from Fan Day. It just felt normal again. So fingers crossed it stays that way.
Yes, absolutely.
And don't forget to watch BBN Tonight weeknights at 7:30 on LEX18, the LEX18 app, or at bbntonight.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of BBN Game Day. We'll see you again next week.
That's right. Go Big Blue.
BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank and sponsored by Kentucky Select Chevy Dealers, Coca-Cola, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Kroger, Lexington Opera House, and Papa John's.